The cum system of the Valiant Reach crackled to life at 0300 hours station time. Every speaker, every screen, every haptic panel across the entire research station lit up simultaneously, a feat that should have been impossible without administrative override codes that only 3 people possessed. But the voice that echoed through the corridors wasn't any of those 3. Bring her back. It was small, chirping, desperate. Bring her back. Bring her back. Bring her back. Commander Thexal bolted upright in his quarters, his scaled hand already reaching for his emergency cum. Around him, 24 species representing the Galactic Coalition's finest scientists were doing the same, stumbling into corridors in various states of confusion and alarm. Security breach, Thexal barked into his wrist cum. Isolate the source immediately. Sir? We're trying, came the panicked response from Ensign Myra. The entire system's been hijacked. We can't shut it down. Every backup, every manual override, it's all locked out. Bring her back. Bring her back. Bring her back. The voice continued its loop, small and broken and utterly relentless. Thexal's secondary heart skipped. He knew that voice. Every member of the station knew that voice. Rockin'. The cub was barely 3 cycles old, a Catherine young with copper fur and oversized ears that twitched at every sound. He'd been aboard for 6 months, ever since his pod parents had joined the xenobiology research team. Catherine cubs were notoriously attached to their caregivers, yes, but Rakan had formed an unusual bond with someone else entirely. Siren Valen, the human engineer. And Siren Valen had been missing for 48 hours. Thexal found Rakan exactly where he expected, in the primary communications hub, a space far too complex for a cub to navigate, let alone commandeer. Yet there he was, tiny paws dancing across a hollow interface that towered above him, his copper tail lashing with frantic determination. Bring her back, Rakan chirped again, his large black eyes streaming with tears that caught the blue light of the screens. Bring her back, Rakan, Thexal said softly, approaching with his hands raised. Cub, you need to stop. The screens flickered, code streamed faster. Somehow, impossibly, the cub adjusted parameters that should have required a decade of training to understand. No stop, Rakan chittered, his voice breaking. Fine, Siren, bring her back, she promised. She promised. Thexal's throat tightened. He'd seen the human with Rakan countless times, Siren carrying the cub on her shoulders while she worked, speaking to him in that soft, patient way humans had with their young. She'd been teaching him things, he realized. Not just stories or games. She'd been teaching him her systems. How did you... Thexal began. Siren showed me, Rakan said, his small voice fierce despite the tears. Showed me patterns, showed me codes. Said humans teach cubs to be strong. To think, to solve. His paws moved faster. So I solve. I find her. A chill ran down Thexal's spine, the emergency beacon. Siren had taken an exploratory shuttle to the 3rd moon of Kethro's Prima routine survey mission. She'd missed her check-in window, and despite 2 days of searching, they'd found nothing. No debris, no signal, no body. But if this cub, with his species' naturally enhanced hearing and Siran's engineering knowledge, had managed to hijack the entire station's communications array, what did you do, Rakan? Thexal asked carefully. The cub's ears flattened. Siren said humans don't give up. Said, when someone's lost, you use everything, everything. He tapped a final sequence, and suddenly the main screen filled with a wave pattern faint, distorted, but unmistakably there. Subspace echo, Rakan whispered. From Moon's magnetic poles, Siren taught me, human ears can't hear it. Human machines too slow to catch it. But Catherine ears ... double quotes. He touched his oversized ears proudly. We hear everything. Thexal leaned closer, his eyes widening. The signal was there, a repeating pattern buried beneath layers of magnetic interference, that the station's standard sensors would have filtered out as noise, but it was there, a distress beacon. Siren's distress beacon. By the ancestors, Thexal breathed. He slammed his cum. All hands, we have a signal. Coordinates uploading now. Prepare a rescue team immediately. Bring her back, Rakan said again, but this time it wasn't a plea. It was a command. They found Siren 6 hours later, her shuttle caught in a magnetic canyon that had shielded her from conventional scans. She was dehydrated, injured, but alive. Her emergency supplies stretched thin by 2 days of waiting. When they brought her aboard, wrapped in thermal blankets and surrounded by medical staff, Rockin broke through the crowd with a keening cry that made even the most battle-hardened soldiers flinch. He launched himself into her arms, and Saran, exhausted, battered Saran, caught him without hesitation. "You did it," she whispered into his fur, her voice hoarse. "You brilliant, impossible cub. You actually did it. You promised," Rockin sobbed. "Promised you'd teach me more. Promised you'd show me human stars." "And I will," Saran said, holding him tighter. "I will." The Exal watched from the doorway, something foreign and uncomfortable twisting in his chest. The Coalition had protocols for everything, for emergencies, for losses, for acceptable grief periods. They were efficient, logical. But humans taught their young, even the young of other species, to be relentless, to bond, to refuse to give up, to hack an entire station's infrastructure if that's what it took. It was terrifying, it was beautiful, it was human. As Siren carried Rakan toward the medical bay, the cub's voice echoed one last time through the still hijacked cum system. "Told you. Humans don't give up." And for once, Commander Exal found himself grateful that they didn't.